Welcome to the new episode, the new podcast, Everyday Faith. I am here joined by my wonderful wife, Laken. Say hi.
Hello. I'm so happy to be here on our couch.
It took me a while to come up with a logo and a podcast cover, and my wonderful wife helped me through all of it because her feedback is so important and valid. But this is a podcast that I tried to start when I first moved to Florida 4 years ago and didn't prioritize it, nor did I feel like I wanted to do it at the time. And now I feel like God has put it back on my heart and couldn't use Life in Christ anymore because now that podcast name is taken. So Everyday Faith, and I'm very excited about it. This is for young adults, honestly for anyone that really just needs to hear a good word. But my plan is to have a guest on every single episode and share their experience in life, hear a little bit about their testimony, and hopefully that will help just so many young adults out there that are struggling in certain areas and just need some wisdom to grow. But today's a wonderful guest is my best friend and my wife, the mother to our beautiful child, Laken Kline, and I'm just so excited to have a little conversation about marriage and maybe dating and yeah. How are you doing, Laken?
I'm great. I'm nervous. I've never done a podcast before, so we'll
Don't be nervous.
see how this goes.
It's weird doing it because I do a podcast once a week with my dad and a buddy from ours, so it's usually on like a streaming service, but it's like weird to like be sitting here with you and actually doing it. I mean, right off the bat, I want to ask, when did little Laken become a Christian? And who influenced that in your life?
So my mom led me to the Lord when I was 8 years old. But for most of my childhood, I just identified my faith in Jesus with my mom's. And I went to youth group, I went to church, I did all of the things, but I didn't fully understand what a relationship with Jesus really looked like until I moved away to go to college. I went to Palm Beach Atlantic University, which is a Christian school.
Great college.
Which I always wanted to attend a Christian college for that reason. Like, I feel like I always knew that I wasn't truly stepping out into my own faith. And so when I moved to go to school in Florida, I found myself at a wonderful church that we are still at today. And they...
What's that church name?
Family Church.
We love Family Church.
And they talked to me just through the importance of baptism, and I feel like because I was out on my own, away from my mom, not too far, she followed me down here to Florida, but I feel like since I was not living in my home anymore, and I had a great roommate who I just recognized so much, how she read her Bible every day, and I was like, why are you reading your Bible every day? And
like, why are you growing closer to God?
I just didn't really understand like why that was so important. And also backing up a little bit, when I met you, I noticed just something different about you. Like, I didn't have any Christian friends, I didn't have any Christian influences really in my life besides my mom and the few friends I had made at church that I wasn't super close with growing up. And so I like knew there was something different about you. But then we'd only dated a couple of months until I moved to Florida, and we were in long distance. This is kind of going all over the place. Trying to do the Reader's Digest version. So anyways, once I started going to family church, they really emphasized the importance of having that personal relationship with the Lord and what that looks like and what believer's baptism looks like. And so I started getting plugged in there. I started attending their college group and going to church every Sunday, which is not something I did growing up. And going to church every Sunday. We went to church sometimes. And so I got plugged in. I found myself a wonderful mentor, Sabrina. And she really talked to me about baptism and just helped me navigate what life looks like away from my home and what my relationship with the Lord should look like. And so I got baptized that November. I moved to school in July, and then I got baptized that November and started serving at my church and just getting more and more plugged in, making more and more friends through my school, serving on the worship team, serving in student ministry, and
So Florida's been good for you?
Yes, Florida has been amazing for me. I have never found myself surrounded by so many young Christian people in my life.
Yeah.
I've always just really, my mom and my Grammy were my only two influences. The church we went to was great, but it was definitely an older crowd, which is, there's nothing
It's
wrong
fine.
with that.
Yeah.
However,
It's nice having people your age,
and when you're
your
a
walk of life.
teenager, the last people you want to listen to, at least me as a teenager, is anyone who's an adult.
Yeah. It's great because I've had a front row seat. You know, I've gotten to see the amazing growth that you've had in your faith with God, the amazing growth you've had as a mom in our relationship together, and you had a really good student pastor in Pennsylvania, Pastor Matt. And I got to meet him. He's a great guy, but I firsthand have seen our growth together because when we first started dating, we were so immature in our faith.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we were just definitely like it was Tyler and Laken, and God was at the bottom of that total pole.
We were so excited.
We were just so in love.
And we were just excited that we met somebody else who's, in air quotes, a Christian. So, like, we
and
both
like each other.
Yeah. So, you know, we both, like, believed in God, believed in Jesus, like, had the overall Christian ideals in our head, but we're not living out the way that a Christian should be living their life.
It's like when you meet someone, like you're trying to flirt with someone, you text them like, "Hey, do you believe in God?" And they're like, "Yeah." It's like, check that box
check
off.
that box. Doesn't matter how you live your life. You say you believe in God. That's all you need.
But our testimony and our experience has been great because we've been able to be leaders for high school ministry. Mm-hmm. And it is such a real thing that when you fall in love with someone, like there is just this big fog in your eyes where like you're starting to forget about God. Mm-hmm. And you're just so in love and almost idolize the person in front of you. And that was great for us because not everyone knows this, but like during our long distance, we did break up for a couple months. Mm-hmm. What was it, 4 or 5 months? And it was really hard, but it was the best thing for our relationship because I had to sit there with God and say, "Man, God, I am so sorry that I idolized Laken." Mm-hmm. And if you bring her back in my life or if you don't bring her back in my life, I still choose you, I still love you, and I trust you. And I remember I texted you when we were broken up, and I said, "Can I call you?" And we called, and I said, "I just want to apologize to you because I let you down, because I prioritized you over my relationship and growth with God. And that is, if I always heard, if your relationship isn't good with God, then you shouldn't date." Mm-hmm. And I'm sure others know about it, but we love this little chart where it's the little triangle and God is at the tip of the triangle. And if me and you are both growing towards God, then we're growing together. Mm-hmm. And I will say after our breakup, I mean, we both were just so in love with God and each other. And then I had to make that hard decision whether or not I wanted to leave Pennsylvania and follow you. I mean, yeah, we were just dating. Mm-hmm. And man, I was just so in love with you that I knew, God, I mean, if this is the girl, I'm going to take this leap of faith. I'm such a family guy. I get homesick, and I did it all. And we came down here, and man, Family Church has been so good. And if you could say to one young adult that is listening to this, that is in currently long distance, and they're both Christians, maybe they're not Christians, what's one piece of advice that you would give them? Because we did it for over a year and a half.
Almost 2 years.
Almost 2 years.
Yeah. Close friends of ours were in a long distance relationship before they got married, and piece of advice that they gave us was, you always want to be the hottest couple around. You want to be honest, open, and transparent, because it's so easy. Like, he had his friends in Pennsylvania, I had my friends here.
What was that you said again?
Hottest couple. Honest, open, and transparent.
I've never heard of that.
You've never heard them say that?
I love that.
Yeah, so, and I think that like, communication is everything, whether you're long distance or you've been married for 50 years. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, you need to communicate, especially if you're in long distance and you're hanging out with your friends one night. Like, I think it is important for you to just send a little text and say, "Hey, I'm hanging out with my friends tonight. I'll check in the morning," or "I'll check in when I'm back home." Because then the other person is just, like, sitting at home waiting.
Yeah.
And communication isn't just like, "Hey, I'm going here," or "I'm going there." It's also like, hey, I'm not really feeling super prioritized right now, or I'm not feeling super loved right now, or
Which we struggled with early on.
oh yeah. And especially because I moved out of my house for the first time ever, and I was making all these new friends, and I was saying yes to everything, and then I was involved in 2 internships and serving at my church, and I had no time to even breathe, let alone
And I was doing nothing but
text a
waiting for you to call me.
boyfriend. So
I love that.
yeah.
Hottest couple.
Hottest couple around. Honest, open, and transparent.
I mean, I think that's something that I was gonna say. Like, if I give a piece of advice, is number one, just hang on. It's tough. It is tough, but if you trust God, like, you're gonna get through it. And I feel I can only speak for men, right? I feel like we live in such a world where men don't express their feelings. What are you talking about? You're a man. You're gonna just do your thing. But one thing I learned in long distance, and I grew with in our marriage, is you have to be open to expressing your feelings, expressing what's on your mind, because you can't read my mind.
Mm-mm.
I can't read your mind. So how can I be mad at you or upset with you if you don't even know, if I haven't even explained to you what's on my mind?
Mm-hmm.
And one thing that we grew with, and I think is such a key part to our relationship nowadays, is we learned so hard to be open with each other and communicate. Like, hey, I don't feel prioritized. Like you said, like, can we just like chat for a little bit? Like, I feel like we've been distant. Like, what's on your mind?
Mm-hmm.
And we just grew with that, where we learned how to give time to our friends, give time to work and things we were doing before I moved down there, but still made a little time for each other. Like, hey, what if we schedule like a FaceTime call this Friday and just chat and read the Bible or whatever we were doing. But I totally agree. Communication and just trust.
Mm-hmm.
Trust. I mean, your mind is your biggest enemy when you're doing a long distance.
And if you don't trust the other person, you're not going to get very far.
Not get very far. Well, we're married now.
Almost 2 years next week.
Almost 2 years next week. And it is our running joke right now is we see this guy on TikTok. He's like, what is it? He's like, when someone's like, oh man, just wait till you get married. He's like, well, man, I married my best friend. I'm sorry that you hate your wife, but I love my wife.
Stop ruining it for everybody else. Marriage is the greatest thing in the world.
What's been your biggest struggle with marriage?
Struggle? Oh gosh.
What's the hardest part for you?
Watching you go to work every day. That was a bad example, but it's true. It's the worst part of my day every day when you leave. But yeah. Praise God for providing a job for you.
I can go first if you want.
Yeah, you can go first. I need a minute.
We were talking about this a little bit before we actually decided if we were going to record or not. But I think for me and many people, when you get married, I mean, the person you love is like a mirror to yourself. Mm. And I've heard people talk about this. But like when I got married to Laken, like there's a mirror that kind of shows you how prideful you are or how selfish you could be. Like, I want to be right. And I know you learn that your wife is always right, but I mean, there's things that true. Before you get married, like you are on your own schedule, you do things you like, and this world will tell you like, I'm coming home, my wife needs to cook, my wife needs to provide with me. Like, you know, when you get married, there's sexual needs, and like there's so many people. I work in construction, so like there's so many guys who are like, my wife better have dinner on the table, she's gonna have sex with me when I come home, and if not, maybe someone else will do that for me. And it's sad to me because that's just not what God designed. Mm-hmm. And one thing that I have learned in marriage is like, learn how to sacrifice. Mm-hmm. You know, like it's not just about me anymore. Like we have come together as one. So like, let's just take Xbox for instance. I'm not even that addicted to Xbox, nor do I really play much anymore. But like, I don't really. If I have the option, let's say we just put our son down. I can go play Xbox, or I can sit in bed with my wife and we can talk about how God is working our lives, or chat about the day, or just cuddle. I'm choosing that. Mm-hmm. And I've learned to sacrifice that. I've learned to, you know, I don't feel like doing anything. I kind of want to nap, but Laken wants to go do this. You know, I'll do that. Or, you know, one thing I've been learning lately, blue and pink colors, blue and pink jobs. But yeah, I would just say learning how to sacrifice. And we were talking about this for the podcast. It kind of reflects too, like taking up your cross daily and sacrificing for God. And like you just see God's design in marriage throughout the whole thing. Mm-hmm. And how I'm learning to sacrifice for you, just like Jesus sacrificed for me. Mm-hmm. And it's just such a wonderful thing. And marriage is so great. And this world will tell you, oh, wait till you get married. Wait till you get that ball and chain. That's what I would hear at the job site. Mm-hmm. It's like, man, no, like you take that negativity, you negative Nancy.
Be a
Marriage.
positive Petunia.
I married my best friend, and we live in God's design, and it is the best time of my life.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, your turn.
I don't even. I mean,
What's your favorite part?
um, just getting to do every day with you.
Every
like,
day.
even I always say the best part of my day is when you come home. Like, Tyler will get home and say, "What was the best part of your day?" I say, 5 minutes ago when you walked through the door.
I think long distance plays a role in that, though.
It does. And I mean, it's just so fun. Like, we do everything together. We make sure we have the diaper bag packed together
As a team,
as
as
a
it
team.
should be. We have a hard time doing things with friends by ourselves because I just want to hang out with Laken. And that's just, I feel like some people will say it's sad, but it's like I love my wife, and I don't get home till 5:30 sometimes. Like, I haven't seen my wife all day, or my son. And it's like, I have to learn to balance growing in friendships because I just want to spend time with my wife.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But, I mean, as far as being a parent, I mean, just becoming a parent and watching the person that you love become a parent is the most beautiful thing ever.
It is.
And it's just, if we're going to talk about pride, marriage will show you where you're selfish, and then you have a baby.
Yeah.
And then you'll see it 10 times even more, the areas that you're selfish in.
Yeah. I mean, like, how many times are we like, I feel like when you become a dad or a mom, you're like, oh, I just want to look at my phone, or I just want to go lay down, I just want to do this. But it's like, man, that little boy is just seeking attention for you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he loves you. And it's one thing that we're learning is like, it's just such an amazing moment to see. Having a baby, there's so many challenges, and the world will highlight those challenges.
Mm-hmm.
But we sit here every day and we put him down to bed, and we're like, man, that was a tough day. But I love that little boy, and I wouldn't trade it for the world, and I wouldn't trade tag teaming it with you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I couldn't do it without you.
That's the other thing is, like, when you're picking a spouse, you're not just choosing somebody for you. Like, you are choosing the parent of your future child.
Yeah.
Like, he is not just my son. He is also Tyler's son. And, I mean, the roles don't always look 50-50. Sometimes it's 60-40. Sometimes it's 80-20. And it doesn't matter. Like, Tyler is my child's father. And so I always see these TikToks of, like, I didn't just choose him for me. I chose him for my kids. And that is just so incredibly important.
Well, what is it? It's, is it Paul that I think? He says, oh, my brain is racing right now because I was thinking of something else. But how men are to sacrifice their wife like Jesus did to the church. I'm botching that. But I just think, like, something I do that not many men do, and this is no shot at other men, like, this is just my mindset, is like, every time we wake up to have to go feed Brooks, or if we have to take him to the nursery, like, I follow you in there, and I get you whatever you need, and I will put a pillow and a blanket right at your feet, and I will lay down. And she will tap me on my back if he's ready to be put down, or if she needs something. And that's just something I choose in my relationship with my wife to do, because I don't want my wife to be in there alone. Like, yes, I can't really do anything while she's nursing. And yes, I have work in the morning. I got to wake up at 5:30. But we chose to do this as a team. And I'm going to do this with you because that's just what I feel like God would want me to do.
And it's so sweet, too. Like, there are some mornings where Brooks will wake up at 4:30, and I'm just like, it's fine. I don't care. Like, just stay and sleep. But he'll follow me in anyways. And I don't need that, but it also just, it means the world. Like, just knowing that he wants to be there and wants to sleep on the floor while I'm in there feeding our baby.
My back regrets it.
And it doesn't take very long. Sometimes it takes 10, 15 minutes. Sometimes it takes 30 to 45 minutes. It just depends on him. And we're just figuring it out together. And mostly he does pretty well and sleeps through the night. But he still has his moments. He's a baby.
He's a baby. Little baby boy. Little baby boy. I love that baby boy. What would you say that God is teaching you right now in this season of life? You are a wonderful mom. You're a wonderful wife. We are young adults that are trying to save for a house, a townhouse, and just live in this very expensive world that we live in right now. With all that, and you growing towards God and trying to live a life for God, what do you feel like God's teaching you?
I think patience.
Amen.
I think a lot of parents would say that, especially parents of young kids. I truly think that I am just a very type A person. I like A, B, and C to happen. I'm not the kind of person that's like, oh, we could do C and then A and then no, it needs to be A, B, C. And that is just not how kids work. And that's okay. They don't need to work that way. And that's also not how marriage works. And
I will say, though, I have grown to love your type A. Because I feel like as a guy, I'm like, I will do things such backwards. And Laken will be like, why don't you do it this way? And I'm like, because that's dumb. Why would I do it that way? And then on the side, I'm like, gosh, she's so smart, but I can't tell her that.
But I think as far as just my relationship with the Lord, I mean, it's so easy to just think like, oh, we're never going to be able to afford a home, or we're never going to be to the point where we're done paying off student loans or paying off my car, or whatever. And I think the Lord right now is just like, there are so many areas in your life where I'm teaching you patience. And as easy it is for me to be like, oh God, but why not now?
Yeah.
Why can we not have a home now? Like, we are doing all of the right things. Like, we are just doing our best to make it day to day. Like, why can you not just provide a home right now? But there maybe the family that's moving out of the home that we're going to live in one day isn't ready yet. Like, there are so many different things that we have no idea what is going on in God's mind, I guess, or just like God's plan that he has for us. And I mean, ultimately, I truly believe that if you are doing your absolute best to just live in God's design and doing your best to just live like Jesus did, and obviously we're never going to be perfect ever, I believe that you're living in God's plan for your life. I don't think that you can just make a wrong decision as far as like, oh, do we move 5 minutes down the road or 10 minutes down the road? You know, like, as far as that goes. And I think that God is just teaching me, like, it's okay to be patient.
Yeah,
it's a good thing to be patient.
Patience is a good one. I feel like I'm right there with you. Be quick to listen, slow to speak is definitely something that I'm trying to just meditate on every single day with God. It's just so quick to be angry sometimes with a baby, but just understanding, like, it's just a little baby. He doesn't know. And God is just, again, that mirror in front of me, like, these are some things you need to fix, Tyler. Now, what would you say, Laken, to the young adult out there that's like, Laken, that sounds great, but kind of sounds boring. Like, I think having the kids is crazy. Like, I'm young. Like, I should go out there and live while I'm young, you know. Let's go to the club. Let's go party. Like, I might want to sleep around for a little before I settle down. Like, what would you say to the high school girl out there or the young girl out there that is just like, that just doesn't kind of sound fun?
Yeah, I went through my phase in high school, and nothing compares to the fulfillment I feel just being married and having a baby. I mean, I have always been the person that I've never felt fulfilled from a job, any job. I mean, I worked for my church on our communications team, and I loved it. I loved my team. I mean, I still do some things for them on the side, but I loved it. But I would come home, and obviously nothing is going to be as fulfilling as having a relationship with the Lord. But as far as occupation and just life goes, nothing has fulfilled me the way that being a mom has. And
I love that.
Sure, there's nothing wrong with having kids in your 30s. Absolutely nothing wrong with it. But if your option is to go out and party and live your life, or if you have someone that you love and you're just kind of putting off marriage because you're just, I don't know, I just don't really feel like it yet, or you're like, oh, what's the point? It changes everything. And I've just seen the way that God has changed my heart and my mind, and just the way that I live my life and view everything, I feel like has changed since we got married. And especially now as a parent, there's, I don't know, I guess just as someone who's already gone through that phase and has been like, this is not going to fulfill me. This is not productive. This is not going to do anything for me. Like, I would just wake up the next morning and feel like garbage. Like, sure, I guess you could say I had a good time, but I have equal, if not more amount of fun going to Hobby Lobby with my husband and my
Which
child.
we're doing later.
I'm so excited. So, yeah.
I hear so many guys in their 20s that I work with or I meet that have been dating a girl 5+ years, maybe they have a kid or two together, and I just say to them, like, why not just get married? And some answers I get are, what if it doesn't work out? And I just feel like with that mindset, you're already failing.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like if you love this person and you've been with them 3+ years, maybe you have a kid with them, like, hey man, you love that person, like dedicate them, get married, start a family, like you're practically living that life already. They say if you take the simple principles of being a Christian in God's design, like if you're not a Christian, like if you just take those simple principles from the Bible, like your life is 10 times better, right? So just like we can witness to that, like living in God's design is just such an amazing thing. Being married to your best friend, both of you guys loving God, taking your kids to church, growing together. It's such a crazy ride, but it's such a fun ride.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday we sat down and did the hard thing of talking about our budget. And that can be so defeating and so hard. But we always end it with, God's in control. Mm-hmm. And no matter where we're at, if he provides this is my simple thought, right? If I come home to my wife and son, they're healthy, God provided us with groceries, we have a place to live, we pay our bills. I'm a rich man. Mm-hmm. I'm such a rich man. I'm a rich man just to know the fact that God sent his one son down to die for me, a sinner. And he loves us so much. Mm-hmm. And I get to do that with you. And we get to watch Brooks grow up and become a Christian one day. Hopefully we're praying about him. We're going to guide him. And it's been such a fun ride.
And we're only 2 years in.
But we've been together almost 7 years now. So it's been fun.
Yeah.
Laken was only 19. She's getting old.
You're going to be 30 this
I'm going to
year.
be 30 this year. That's so
down.
disgusting.
It's not disgusting.
It's a great part of life.
It's a joy to grow older.
It's a joy. Well, I think I'm going to end every podcast, or I'm going to start every podcast episode with prayer. And I think I'm going to pray. Okay? Sound good?
Yes.
And then we'll end this podcast.
Okay.
Well, Lord, I just want to thank you for this wonderful day. I thank you for the breath in our lungs and the people that are listening to this podcast. Lord, may you bless this podcast and bless someone that's listening. We don't know what people are going through. And I just pray for our little bit of a testimony that will help guide another couple, another person to want to live in your design, find a man or a woman that loves God and that they want to marry. Lord, may you just bless everybody, protect everybody, and raise good Christian leaders in the households, for families. Father, it's in your wonderful name that we pray. Amen. Well, Laken, I don't know when the next time I'll see you, but I appreciate you coming on the show. No, but for real, thank you so much, Laken. You are the first guest on Everyday Faith.
That's so exciting.
So excited. I keep almost forgetting the name for a second. And I have to did I say that?
I thought you were going to say
But hey, we love you guys, and we will see you guys next time.